Welcome back to the pack, guys. Today is week 44 of the Arena Watch podcast, and we're closing out for week 43. Just was the A and below week for that was the only bonuses we had. We didn't have any sort of HP boost like we had prior weeks. How did we all do, guys? Did we have any winners from the guild?
Perfect.
We had a winner,
Was
didn't we?
lost for top 10 somewhere.
You know, I feel like Nobunaga should be here for having been the only one on the whole, guild to basically win. But
yeah,
preliminary guild. I mean, we haven't technically started the guild. Where's the chat menu? Okay, I'm gonna edit the
People know
link here. So, Trop, how close did you get, Trop?
4 points off. Unfortunately, I was it was a tough match too, and I got kind of impatient waiting at the doctor's office yesterday for an appointment. So I just kind of played my arena matches during that time.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't take that much time to consider the different plays. But -4 could have been worse. Still a top 10 finish, which is respectable. We would have wanted the perfect since I've gotten second place before on A and below week, never gotten the first. I guess that's not changing yet. So.
Well, it did change for the entire, I guess, the game, because people have beat A and below week now. So that's interesting moving forward. I thought it'd be the case. It would be hard because there are some units that you might want to avoid, like Hellion. I was shocked that we didn't have as strong of frizz damage as I thought we would have. I had my only good frizz on my team is like Hellion for single target, and he actually hit pretty hard, harder than Kiefer does. Right? Kiefer's not as strong as Hellion for single target. Kiefer did decent AOE, and if it was up against a Saber Cub, or if it was a Claude, or who else is weak to frizz? Claude, Saber Cub,
Boreal.
Boreal was another big one.
They all have pretty low defense. I think Boreal with Bloom actually might have more than all three of those. But
it's not too high. I think it's around 220, 250.
Even with
like
Bloom and decent
even
armor.
With Bloom. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He has a decent
really
agility,
bad.
so he would be able to build armor instead of a vest. I mean, a jacket. So his would be a bit higher than Claude's, and definitely higher than Saber Cub's. So those were the main frizz weak units, and I think Kiefer did an okay job against them. There was also, as far as frizz weakness goes, there was some people I saw were running Gildan Knot and Gildan Breeches, and they have a bit higher defense. So I think striking Sabercat was better for those. Although my striking Sabercat without any sort of leadership was hitting like 506 or something, 507 with brilliance. I was so disappointed because I was like, no, that was Claria. Claria with potency was hitting 507 or something, and my striking Sabercat with brilliance was like 503, and I was like really disappointed.
Are you sure on that? Because my Claria was hitting 712.
I think he's saying neutral.
No, neutral. I said potency,
okay.
potency. So with potency, like neutral potency, Claria was hitting like 507, and like my striking Sabercat was hitting 503 with brilliance, and I know it's not the newer Wormfire or whatever, so it wouldn't have the higher damage ratio. But at the same time, he got like this 20% passive with damage increase with having full HP, and it's like he usually has full HP on turn 1. He usually, there's no one who's outspeeding him on turn 1. So I was very disappointed. I don't know, it bothered me that I didn't get that much damage with striking Sabercat. But, if you're up against Gildan Breeches, and I lost points to him. I shouldn't have, but
really?
I did lose points to Gildan Breeches. It was avoidable. He survived with 4 HP. Claria and striking Sabercat couldn't kill him. So I could have, did an extra tick of damage on him, right, and killed him. in which case I would have been fine. But I hadn't had those damages calculated ahead of time because I just figured, oh, it's going to be easy. They're just going to, he's for his week. He's going to die. These are, this doesn't even factor in defense. I'll be fine. And I was like, no, So I lost points there. I lost a unit. And then another match, and it was completely avoidable. And another match, I lost 4 points. Again, it was completely avoidable. And then this last match, today I lost another 12 points on a match, and that one wasn't avoidable. That one I couldn't avoided, I think. Boreal was a bad matchup for me, again, because striking Sabercat doesn't do much damage. Hellion doesn't do much damage. Hellion's weak to Boreal. Kiefer's weak to Boreal. Boreal was more of a trouble than I thought he'd be, at least for my team. I don't know any other better, Frizz units within the A and belows. But he was just causing too much issues. And so he was becoming an avoid. But I did a test match against Helligator, and Helligator had like the 3 stacks of, what was it, the evasion
for the 45%.
Dude, he killed my whole team on that test match. I was just like, okay, this that could go sour so fast with Helligator. Just so I don't know. Helligator I'm like, this is a definite avoid now. I'm glad I didn't face him legitimately throughout the week. That would have been a nightmare. But I'm not shocked that other people who did ended up losing their matches, and I was like, okay, they hadn't lost matches in 2 weeks or I don't know how many weeks, and they're like, oh, I lost a match, and I'm like, who were you up against? Helligator and this and that. And I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have gone up against Helligator. What were you doing against Helligator?
The funny thing is, I actually did a ton of practice matches against Helligator because I wasn't really familiar with how he'd work out. And for the vast majority of them, it was perfectly fine. Partially because I was using Ghost Full Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great because the Zamel would hit for like 300 something damage, and then the follow-ups would each hit for 70 something damage. And it would, for the most part, between super fast Gigantes, either Claria or Claude, anything else, I was able to drop Helligator pretty easily. The unfortunate part for me came when I was doing practice matches in the middle of the week and found out that Percival, in that middle front position, can hit and pull Ghost from
Any
anywhere
spot, yeah.
it is on the map.
Him and Boreal could hit everybody on the map from that spot.
Yeah. There were, maybe the one I faced was 1 spot back. I thought he was all the way up. I faced my match that I ended up losing. I think it was the one I lost points. I don't know. There was one of the matches I did today, and I thought the Percival, maybe he was 1 spot back because he couldn't hit the very back. So maybe he was 1 spot back.
Oh, I should turn on some DQ8 music in the background. I forgot about that. You guys like DQ8?
So yeah,
I
it was.
never played it.
The music's nice.
Quick question for you guys. What would you guys call your
game.
What was the
MVP
question?
for the week?
MVP for the week? For a unit or for a teammate in the game? Right
For
now?
your unit.
I don't know. Slon he missed too much to be an MVP. Claria for me was, I think, because when I saw how much damage she did, even with with like neutral, I was just like, I was shocked. So I was like, there's no team in my mind that I could justify that I couldn't have had Claria on as an ad. Like I would have swapped if I had my pick at every unit in the game, right? And I saw the top playing teams, even Trop's team. He's only lost 4 points the whole week. I could have easily subbed in Claria for any of those units that he ran, and I think it would have been. I would have made that trade off personally. Claria was, I think, one of the more powerful units in the game. And as far as MVPs on the defense, Helligator or Boreal, Percival is like a demon because it's like you need to outspeed him. You can't let him outspeed you. He's just causing too much trouble, I think. And a middle position Boreal or or Percival, it's like, okay, your ghost or whoever you have that is low defense is just dead, or is going to be targeted. You know, like my I think Sabercat wasn't safe necessarily, but I think he wants to go for the blind. So if you could bait him into doing the roll instead, I think then you're kind of okay.
So long as he can't kill a unit outright, because
Yeah.
he goes for higher spread damage than concentrated damage.
Yep.
Drop Celery.
For me, it was like tough to say because they all did pretty equally. Like I liked Claude, but I don't know if I'm looking back specifically to the match that I lost points on. I think if I had replaced Sloan with Claria, I might have been able to 1-2-8 that one. So that's the only one where maybe Claria. So then I used Claria only on the last day because I wanted to keep my top 10. But man, for me it's so hard because 6 of the days I used all beasts and they essentially did the same thing where they just charged up, attacked. I don't really know who to put as an MVP. They kind of just worked well together.
What was your team again? Just for everyone to know, the entire team.
So it was AAABB. It was Claude, Percival, Sloan, Great Saber Cat, and Dark Saber Cub. So it was literally all beasts.
I did have the Dark Saber Cub a few times, and the snooze on him did save my ass. So he's kind of he's in some ways, if you have him built right, he could be he could be a bit of a save there. So MVP within the B ranks.
Without like I don't know about you guys, but I had some tough buckets this week where literally without the snoozes, I definitely would have lost more points than I did. So it was they normally say if you snooze you lose, but in this case, like if you don't snooze you lose. So
I like that. That was good.
it's just my
yeah, because surprisingly we had the damage to do a 2-turn, and the setup, the map was in a way that you could do a 2-turn. It's just unfortunate, positioning for like again the middle Percival or middle Boreal or I think even a middle Gigantes. If you don't block him with like a unit, he could probably hit your whole team too.
And that was my MVP for the week. Heavy resist on Frizz. So it kind of helped a lot with those Kiefer matchups, partially because I could kind of line him up to soak hits and to bait Frizz slashes over doing something like a Tornado Slash.
Mm-hmm.
And try and bait that on units where even if he kind of crits, he's not going to kill the unit outright. So that was a strategy that worked for me pretty well through the week until yesterday, I think it was, when he went for the Tornado Slash anyway and crit killed my Claria. But Gigantes this week, just middle position or even on one of the wings forward position, it was really easy to set him up to hit minimum 3 targets with an Ultra Stomp, and each against Kiefer and whoever had defense equivalent to Kiefer's like 350 defense. It was like 275 built completely for agility, up to like in the 400s against something like Claria. And it was just so much early, easy chip damage. And it was so easy to put things in range for lethal for something like Claria to sweep out with a 712 Crackle, or something like Percival to come in and do the Cherry Blossom Blizzard and hit 2 units, or Boreal to come in and use the Earth Blizzard to clear up another unit. That was part of the reason why I didn't really have any problems with Heligator, because I built my team mostly for agility, and even if it got to the point where that unit was still up, I could hit it from pretty much any point in the map, and even if it was still up at the end, it was down to like maybe a third of its HP with every unit of mine still up and still ready to take hits. On 2.
Do you guys have anything to add to that? I know you were running him
Mine was
Celery, so
a mix of. Yeah, mine was a mix of fez. I completely agree. This was so just reliable. You could just have him charge in, hit 3 units to about in total, give or take, and what's going to happen to him? You know, if things wanted to hit him, they could. If they wanted to hit him with Brilliant, they could. Did not matter. He wasn't going down. So he was amazing. And then with Boreal, 1, 2, 3 punch, where you could usually take 2 3 units or 2 units that weren't lined up. And as long as they were both within range of Ultra Stomp, Boreal would hit one, Clary would hit the other. And you just knock out 40 plus agility.
we lost a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
especially that last bit.
My, yeah, I mean, hopefully it works. My signal's showing in the green. I don't know. So, but yeah, just gigantic plus.
Okay.
I think the robots have taken over Celery.
I do think they've taken over Celery. Well, I think that covers a lot of what happened this week in hindsight, doesn't it? Is there anything worth noting that we missed?
For me, it was really remember that Claria is technically a support unit.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love
she
that.
does use Serene Breeze and Decelerato more often than she uses Cakrackle if she can't immediately kill something with Cakrackle. I forgot that so many times, and I risked so many points on that because I kept looking at it and saying, a Cakrackle here leaves me open for another unit to come in and sweep out the unit. But if there's something in range for her to Serene Breeze, she will. If there's something that leaves up for Decelerato, she will. As long as she can't kill with the Cakrackle, she won't.
I think that's worth noting. Yeah. As well as her being a support, jacket. So you never know how fast she's going to be.
Impact even here was siding
No.
with the robots when I was playing Horizon.
You're still playing Horizon.
Is that why we have the cat right now?
No, I'm not playing right now. I just thought it'd be a bit of an improvement because usually I have like a portrait of the cat for my profile. Now you get the actual cat. So.
Nice. She looks old and tired. I don't know why she looks so tired.
Yeah.
I guess you guys are 3 hours ahead, but shouldn't they be awake? At the late hours of the day.
Oh no, my dog's like
1 hour
hard
ahead.
potato asleep.
No,
we're 3 hours
I'm only
ahead.
1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour
But
ahead.
it doesn't matter. Cats don't go off normal sleep schedules. Like cats sleep.
They
a lot.
adapt to yours, or
Wait.
I wish. This cat is like the opposite of mine. She always annoys me when I'm trying to sleep.
that's the usual for them, though. Technically, genetically.
Yeah, they kind of make their own sleep schedule. They're kind of like pack where they don't really sleep in the night, and they just go and bug you.
I usually stick to myself and streaming late at night, so I'm not bugging nobody, but I guess viewers if they want to watch. So is that really bugging anybody? Is it, Trop?
No, I was just saying my cat more so bugging me.
But yeah, I never turned on the OST. I don't know if you guys like DQ8, if you guys like DQ8, or if you like a different. I haven't been reading the chat. I'm bad. I should have been reading the chat.
There's not even anything up there.
Okay, good.
Well,
it makes my life
the
easier.
cat up boards, and I guess have me again.
Somebody throw out a poggers in the chat, because please. We have 5 watching now. Oh, wait. the stream started 3 minutes ago on my computer. Did
Let's
just
see
not.
if the music's too loud.
Nope, still nothing.
The cat was chilling right there, so I didn't have to do anything. But now, the cat's going off doing her own thing, so I gotta come back.
Okay. Well, there we go. Now we even got music. This is really a high-end stream, guys. All right.
I don't hear the
Hopefully-
music. Is it a YouTube thing? Because I'm just on Discord.
It's not for you guys. You guys can't hear it. It's on the stream though.
Oh, look at that! Look at the special treatment we get.
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there's one thing I definitely learned this week. It's like a famous writer always said. You miss 100% of the shots you don't land, and that was definitely true this week. Oh shit! Celery.
okay. Well,
And me with my
closing
lame
out
joke.
for week 43. I think that was pretty fun. But 44, we got a big changes ahead. What are we looking at here? It's 3-turn
I will
arena
be right back in
for
2 minutes.
perfect. Don't worry, we won't miss you. Three. We'll be crying over the input that you wouldn't have gave anyway. So 3-turn arena, and we have a 30% increase to boot. We have 50.
Yep.
If you want to look at it differently, we have 50% more turns and 30% more HP.
And lined up for more crits for everybody who's
True.
still pushing physical teams.
True. And it doesn't matter how high your HP goes. Typeless crit from Carver's like 1600 damage or something stupid.
Really?
It's stupid. So it's like, I can't, was it 1600 or was it 1400? I can't remember. I think it 1600. It was almost 1700, I think. I don't know. But it was ridiculous. So it's like, that's still going to kill you. So that is a very good thing that you pointed out, is if you're up against physical teams, and physical teams, of course, crit harder than magic teams, because defense is now not a thing. Well, there's 3 more turns for them to crit. I mean, 1 more turn for them to crit. So it's like, that could be bad. And those units are going to survive for a lot longer, until the very last turn, maybe even. Who knows? So that's going to give them a lot of chances to crit you. So that's not very good. Honestly,
As a side note, though,
go ahead.
that does really help to push statuses back into the arena as well.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like paralysis, stun, and sleep
Even
are
in
a lot
Venomate,
more valuable.
right?
I mean,
Technically,
if you're pushing,
if it already had it,
along
if
with-
it already had it though, like
yeah,
Genocide
like if you're
Breath already
using
has it.
Malroth or something, like, and you're doing the deadly breath.
No,
But I wouldn't push for something where it's just envenomate.
well, if he's putting someone to sleep, that's good too. But I mean, like, if it's Genocide Breath where it happens anyway, that wouldn't
Genocide
be
breath is
Doesn't it?
Bones of Baremos, curse and envenomate.
something like that. And I think with Malroth's, even his regular line thing will poison instead of envenomating occasionally or something like that. Rarely. But once when he gets a bloom, it should be even better. So technically moves like that where it's like, oh, it's going to envenomate anyway, or it's going to poison anyway.
Might as well.
Might as well, exactly. And if you could poison twice over, it's like, that's not that bad because it's going to add up. And certainly against dragons, it would be 100% effective. So I would say it's worth considering. But yeah.
Unfortunately, that also does have the damage reduction from the arena. We learned that from the envenomate weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is true. So it's a both good and a bad thing, depending on if you're up against it or whatever. But I would say with physical teams, it's going to be interesting because they're going to, in some way, a lot of the different types are more viable now, rather than just being cleave and martial and agility and just rushing or whatever the bonus is for the week. Like physical week still had physical units being very strong. right? Like typically people don't do very successfully on physical teams, but physical week you could just build agility. At least I did.
Yeah.
Some people built HP, but I built agility, and you already had the damage, so it's like I didn't even build any more damage, and I just rushed them and I won. But now it's they're kind of viable for a different reason. It's like if I have an OKM and I bring in, since this is typeless, I mean it's a weightless week anyway, I bring in Seraphie instead, and I don't want to give out the recommendation now. Oh gosh, we threw out the recommendation. Now we see 50 more Seraphies in Arena depending on our viewership. But if you throw in like a Seraphie instead of Gildan Britches to do an attack up on OKM, then now he's at 3 stacks for 3 turns instead of 2 stacks for 2 turns. That's really good. That's pretty crazy. So even the attack ups will last longer, and will have a time to stack greater, right? So like,
Pretty great.
Starks could easily hit 3 attack stacks pretty quickly. So I'd be careful around him, as well as maybe worth using for a change, because even if he's only getting 2 physical attacks in, or 2 breaths and 1 attack, that's still pretty good. On top of boosting the whole team with the leadership, that's still pretty good. And whatever hit he does get off will have, by then, would probably have the 3 attack stacks on him. He's going to heal himself, so if he gets hit, he'll survive probably. It's only
Just so long as
440.
Big Daddy Barry isn't coming around with compressed kabooms.
Probably, yeah. And that's another thing to note.
So
Slow
hard.
mages can now have some sort of viability, right?
Yep. Especially things like Dragon Lord, who typically has a range of 5, move to 3 out for the Dark Pillar, or Kafriz, now kind of has the ability to play more and do more. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Physical res technically lowers crit damage. Okay, thank you, Marcos. There is physical res.
Yeah.
It's not very common,
did
but
that
there
come
is
with,
physical res.
Uber Killing Machine?
Yes.
No, Bones of Pyramus. Oh, and Uber?
There's also
have-
just damage down as well in general with like Forest Dragon and other units like that. But
I saw
Nocturnus.
Nocturnus,
UKM and Bones of Ramos pretty much solely on the JP Wiki. I just assumed it was martial resistance because it felt like it made more sense. Wild to think that it's actually
no, because
physical resistance.
it's literally Overkilling Machine is the mage killer technically, and Uber Killing Machine is supposed to be the physical killer. So that's how they had them lined up. It makes sense. Sizz is a very common weakness for like Nocturnus, Stark, and those kind of,
DKO.
yeah. So it's good to take out those physical
And
units, I guess.
Crack is also for like Zaro.
Yeah.
Kiefer.
Yeah. A lot of these physical units might be weak to those abilities. He does have typeless too. It's all there.
Does he have typeless?
I
I
think.
thought it was the agility boost, the flying knee style Sizz attack, and the
Agility
crack sweep.
boost.
Yeah, it's like an agility move boost.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I guess I was wrong. Yeah. So I thought he had like armor or something, but I guess not. Only what is it? Schwarzschild has it. Yeah, I think.
Schwarzschild
And yeah, the other dude as well
Gildan
has.
Britches.
Gildan Britches both have it. Yeah. So I think we do have those options there. I would definitely like to be able to run an inorganic team, but I don't know if I would be able to. I'm missing key units like Uber Killing Machine and stuff like that. So, but I have the flex option for it. I do have Overkilling Machine maxed. I could drop claws on Seraphie at least this week and just attack up him, and then he's pretty much a monster, I think.
You have OKM like maxed?
Maxed.
Like 5 awake maxed?
5 a week. Yeah. I spent 30k on him, but the only thing he lacks is range with the Atomic Blade. Like, it's 1 tile short of what would be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he
Oh
says
yeah.
30K,
I know
he
exactly what you mean.
means USD.
Because he has range, but he has it linearly. He doesn't have like. He doesn't have. This is a stupid unit, but he doesn't have Ricard Cassiz range. 3 movement with Cassiz, you know?
Yeah, he's got a 5 range on his atomic blade and a
And-
6 range with a B attack.
With a B, exactly, with a B attack. It's 195%, I think, at base, so that's a higher ratio, but it's still a B attack.
However, he can sweep in
Cypress.
on 2 and hit so many units with a cracker whack. I did that a lot when he was first released, is come in with a hunter bow on 1 and then 2 move in with the cracker whack.
Yeah, you could do that. His awakening perks are on the atomic blade, and if you have brilliance, obviously you're probably gonna go for the atomic blade. But yeah, you definitely could. And now that even if you miss turn 1, you still have 2 more turns to kill your enemies. So
Yep.
stuff worth considering. I'm not going to go against physical teams, probably, just to avoid the crit. I don't know, what else am I gonna probably do? It's all kind of up in the air, you know. I'm trying to think what it could be, because again, everyone just seems much more viable now, and it's like, wait, how could everybody be more viable? Like, if someone gets better, someone got worse in contrast, right? But it's like, in my head, I'm just like, everyone just seems more balanced now. I don't know, because Dragon Lord is usable, but it's like whereas like before, for me, he wasn't. I'd only used him like sparingly. I think 1 week for arena that he was usable, and it was only a few times with the bloom. So I
will
used him
say,
prior to that, but I don't.
I feel like some of the more martial cleave units did get a little dropped in power from this, like Metal Dragon.
Yeah.
Because really what you wanted with something like Metal Dragon on your team is you wanted to be able to use him and one other unit to kind of cleave, and you'd get really close and just past the limit on exact lethal from that. Now with a 30% health boost, you're going to need to drop another unit in there to also cleave in there. I realized that when they started doing the health boosts, that my martial cleave teams weren't really cutting it nearly as well as they were. So Marquis de Leon,
But
Hero was still doing great.
Marquis has the, you know, turn 2, turn 3. I think his marshal's gonna get stronger, right? Every.
It's even number turned
Yeah.
only, so it's only on 2.
It's only on 2, but that doesn't mean that he's not boosted for 3, right?
Yeah, he's still
From
going to
turn.
be boosted for 3, as is any other beast marshal in a diamond form around him. So Prism Peacock and Vera also get boosts from.
And then Schleiman does a similar thing, right, with the marshal up, doesn't he?
That's at Awaken 5.
On
If you
5
see an Awaken 5 Schleiman, don't even bother. 40% chance to get Marshal up at the start of its turn. Will get a movement 1 and 1 stage agility boost at the start of its turn. Awake 1 perk is a better version of Metal Dragon's follow-up missiles. And Awaken 3 is a Zaro-style Spell Reflect.
Yeah.
Super fun unit. I love this unit so much. I just got mine to 120. I'm so excited. I'm crushing just past like 456 agility with full agility gear on him, and he still has like 1100 HP. Fuselads are going to be coming in strong. He's just faster than my Marquis, and I can just roam up to the middle of the arena, drop a Fusillade on a unit or one of his Bang Marshals on a couple of units, and anything within 4 range basically has a 40% chance when it gets hit to get a follow-up for 500 damage.
You must have him fully awakened to get to that level of agility, right?
Nope, 3 awake.
3
okay.
awake.
I got
Yeah.
really lucky. He was at 2, and then on the last single pull ticket, I pulled my 1 for 3 awake.
I still
Very
think
cool.
KSS will be good though, even
Yeah.
with this whole boost.
Oh yeah.
Especially
And
this
this
week,
week?
there's
Oh, yeah.
there's a block he could hide behind too, and we've found out that that's always good for him.
It's not only just the block he can hide behind. When we look at that screen, It's the fact that he can kind of cleave at least 3 units. So for him this week, it's kind of like Gigantes was last week. He's going to hit almost guaranteed 2 to 3 units.
And the interesting thing is, even if a unit stands where he would need to jump to, use his Searing Press.
Searing Press.
He could just, target the tile in front of it instead. Instead of walking up to the block, he could just walk one tile behind the block and still attack. So it's like, they can't really stop this from happening. So it's pretty good, I think.
That, and if you look at where the starting positions are, so long as your KSS isn't slow, you'll be able to land him directly in the middle. I keep pointing my computer like everybody can see it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nobody can start in that position.
No one can start in the middle. Okay, never mind. So I was about to say, because I was saying if someone started in the position where he could jump to, then he could just target the position below it and still be fine. But it looks like no one could actually start in that position. You're right. And he's usually faster.
I
At
mentioned
least
that
you
in
should
the
build
article
him.
for this week. Really, King She Slime, there's a reason why he's in the preview for both of these. Usually it's just kind of some random units. This unit is going to be crazy this week.
Yeah. I mean, every
Especially
week that it's
since
like this.
Weightless weeks tend to be Dark Lord weeks, and most of our Dark Lords are also weak to Sizz.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we lost Celery. Did we lose Celery? I wasn't paying attention to the feed.
In and out, in and out.
In and out. Yeah, there he is. Okay.
Signal and to help.
I mean, if it helps, you don't have to stream video. You could do audio if it's less data.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying, seeing if it works.
We're hearing you now, so that's good.
Yeah. So, as far as units that got significantly worse, I'll come back to the Cleave Marshall type in a minute, because I think Metazoa, my opinion, I think he got it half right. But the ones that really get hurt, I think, are the glass cannons. So rough
I don't know about
is
that.
the big.
Yep.
Everyone's been saying that, but I don't know that, because it's like when your HP's been up, I stop building HP and I start building damage, because it's like I already.
It doesn't matter.
Because
he can't build enough HP. He can't do enough damage at one awake. At one awake, and like if you're a shark and you have a 5 awake rough, he's probably still good. Like 5 awake is a huge.
Well, if you
20%
attack on
more
turn
HP.
1, is that rough going to survive? Now, if you attack turn 1, you rush in, you attack, you rush in with your other units. I don't know. Maybe you might take out a few with the cleave and damage stacking up or something. But does your rough survive turn 1? He has more HP now too. It's not like the enemy's the only people with more HP.
I've run him on increased HP weeks. He doesn't survive if you run in turn 1.
Oof.
Like that's.
Well, I'm not gonna miss him.
Kill.
So.
Yeah, he doesn't kill, which is the big thing. He kills like maybe Zoma, I think.
I don't know, man. I've
But
always
he
been
doesn't-
happy with increased HP, because like units like I don't know, Saber Cub, like him, he needs HP and agility, but it's like if you get one, you could just build the other, but you're kind of getting one of them, right? You get the HP for rough, now you could build something else. No?
No.
For Ruff, one of his big problems is Whoosh tends to counter Crack and Bang units, and congratulations, they gave Ruff Crack and Bang weakness.
Yeah.
He had
Which
it
is-
coming, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
that's-
I had, he could target a lot of units on your map, so him having that counter there makes me very happy.
Yeah, he's very much the big thing is that he lost with increased HP. He lost the ability to kill, even with damage. Maybe if you put leadership, he can still kill a lot of
Can
threats.
we all stop to
So
admire
depending-
Trop is now eating popcorn and watching us talk about the podcast? I think this is a definite upgrade from the other times where he's just sitting and listening or turning off the cam, and
I'm
it's
just
definitely a
enjoying
step
your guys'
up.
discussion, you know?
Yeah, you've really stepped up your enjoyment of the discussion. I could see that now, you know? Really
Drop's here
taking
to
a...
keep his secrets. He's here because he wants to make sure we don't spill the beans on anything too good. He likes to
No,
keep his
I
number one
mean,
spot.
I say things like Seraphy's good or something. Sometimes,
come on.
some weeks I've said that,
is-
you know, Carver's good. It's like, but the last thing I want to see is a Carver or Seraphy. And he has real Canada Dry now, so, you know, he can't... We can't revoke his Canadian card there.
So, but yeah, the glass cannons, I think are so I think
Because everyone else was
I
like,
don't
okay,
ask-
we have increased HP. Let's build more HP for HP weeks. And in my mind, I'm like, no, you're going to build more damage now that you already have HP, no? Let me get that light
It
out
also
of here.
makes HP stacking a lot more effective.
Does it? Because
Yeah,
it doesn't
you're getting
boost...
an extra 30%.
But it's not boosting the HP that you built, right? Like, your equipment doesn't get boosted by 30% too, the HP on it. You know what I mean?
Does it not?
Does it? Marcos is in the chat. He would know. I feel
Please,
like
Marcos,
Celery would also know. I'm cutting out. Sorry.
I don't know for sure. I think it affects equipment only because awakenings affect equipment.
I mean, that's how we get like a 2.4.
Shark, I know I do
Dragon
not
Lord
want a
True
2.2k HP Carver. All right. The equipment should get
So-
boosted. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I take back everything I said. Marco says the equipment should be boosted, so it should be. Yeah. Okay. Build HP. I mean, don't build
No,
HP.
Please don't build HP.
Don't.
Well, so that's I told you I'd come back to why you were half right on the Marshall Cleve team, and my projection is that the Bruiser team will become viable with this new 3-turn 30% extra HP. So characters like Metal Dragon, Halberd, Nocturnus, Dragon Lord Trueform, Carver, characters that have a lot of HP and defenses that can hit fairly hard, not necessarily super hard. With the extra turns, they can go in, they can take the hits, Stark, they can take the hits, they can hit, especially, like Metal Dragon and Halberd, they can hit all 3 turns, that still doing that area clean damage. And 3 turns of lower damage for, is more than 2 turns at lower HP.
As
So
a counterpoint,
Yep.
Metal Dragon specifically has Frizz and Zam weakness, which is almost the exact worst weaknesses you could get. Like, both of it, that's going to be on Dragon Lords, that's going to be on most of our Dark Lords. It's really rough for him out here because a lot of physical units and a lot of spell units use Frizz and Zam. So you're really getting those crit rates of your Metal Dragon that's just going to get wiped out much higher. That was the main reason why I said Metal Dragon. Partially because he's one of those cleave units, but mostly because Frizz and Zam weakness hurts him really bad.
So counterpoint.
Oh,
How much Zam do we really have in the game if you think about it? I agree with the Frizz being bad, but how much A rank Zam that top tier people bring to Arena do we have in the game?
going to be more
Drag-
soon.
Going to be more, but yeah, not much.
Demon King or Godamir, Dragon Lord, and Astark. Thanks, Buffin.
But I guess that Stark
Um,
is going to be a bit more relevant now.
Well, I
Maybe.
guess,
Because we're
now with
seeing
the
those
three-turn
more
they
viable units kind of come up now that they're slower, but they kind of have viability now that it's 3. Also, anything getting caught in Devil's Finesse is a problem. Also, Elena.
I guess
Yeah,
Devil's
like,
Finesse is
even more of a
interesting because the
problem.
attack down, it's going to last 3 turns, right?
Defense down.
Sorry, yeah, the defense down. My bad.
Man,
So that's
Elena
going to
gives no
really
shits
increase
about
your
this
damage
HP
there.
boost because she crits for like
No,
4,000.
she doesn't. And that Crimson Sweep is gonna hit so hard.
Yeah, it's gonna hit for like 4,000. It's like fuck your 30% HP boost. I'm gonna crit for 4,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. How much is it without the brilliance? It's still going to hit very hard, right?
I think it's like 2. I was
Going to kill
doing-
most units, basically.
God. Even with like regular resistance, it's still gonna hit like a truck because I was doing I was farming the typeless domes, and even on like Gigantes, a crit was doing 2,400.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's half resist.
Yeah,
So-
like I was saying, even half resist.
Marcos
Yeah.
is saying don't face Elena without Confuse, is what I think. And I think Shark Eye might be able to confirm that. But I don't know if the Confuse by itself is enough. You gotta have the agility on whatever unit you put it on. For, I guess, Trop, that works out. He put it on Striking Sabercat, who might be fast enough
So yes,
in
and
some
no.
cases, but not in others. But
No, nothing is fast enough unless you have Confuse on Giuliante. That's literally the only thing. And she doesn't have 3 move yet. I don't know if she gets it or not.
She does get 3 moves, she just doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
Really, if
Yeah.
you have to face Elena, you kind of just shift your entire team somewhere else, lock her down when you can, and then just push the rest of the match as normal and try and just clean her up at the very end.
Yeah, I for one think that this 3-turn change will be like one of the best changes will be facing Elena teams. Because before, the most reliable strategy was to let her run up forward 3, not hit anything because there was nothing within 6 range, and then focus her down with 2 to 3 hits, and then do what else you can and clean up turn 2. Try to clean up turn 2. With this new change, you can focus, even if it's more hits, even if it's a guaranteed 3 attacks it takes to take her out, you now have 2 turns to take out the rest of the team instead of 1. So that's a huge boost when facing Elena. And this should only be done if you're running a breath or spell heavy team. Relying on, I hope I hit, 3 out of my 5 physical martial hits. That's a bad plan for taking out Elena.
Nocturnus, though, with Devil's Finesse, actually does have a fairly good chance of at least doing some good damage. The trade-off here, of course, being if you don't kill her after that, Omae wa mo shindeu,
Yeah.
you're dead, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as someone who runs a heavy breath team, I target Elena's almost exclusively because she's become very popular to bring into arena. In the past 5 weeks or so, and so she's something that I can focus on when there's so many units you're trying to avoid. It helps to have popular units. You're like, my team handles this one well.
mm-hmm.
So for me, that's Elena.
I handle
So-
her pretty well too. I think. I just make the adjustment. I feel like people run into her and then they get upset and it's like, well, you should have known, but they
You should have planned. Maybe
should
you
have
could try plating
exactly.
tactically.
That's crazy talk here.
Yeah, this is Fire Emblem Heroes, guys, and for some people it was fire. Like some people, it's literally Fire Emblem Monsters. Like I remember, who was that person who posted they didn't want Seraphie because it was human. That was literally their argument. They didn't want to pull for Seraphie. They're like, they're literally on the Reddit like, who could I get other than Seraphie? And people are confused. It's like, well, because you can't. Because it's like active right now. You don't have like 30k gems for it. It's like, no, who could I get other than Seraphie? And we're like, yeah, so for later. It's like, no, right now. And I'm just like, just get Seraphie. There's no one better than Seraphie. She's like, I don't want a human. It's, what? Seraphie's a heal slime. Like, what? I don't know. It was a fun conversation, wasn't it?
Yep. But that's I do think that like Pac Demon said in the beginning, a lot more units are becoming viable. And that's great for anyone who's not, Metazoa or Meta Blood and just plays strictly by the meta.
But that's
So
a lot of units are going to become viable, but it's not going to happen so quickly this week, right? Because this week we have a Weightless week, and I think that's, for me, Weightless weeks have always been somewhat leaning, not towards whale, somewhat leaning that way, but also leaning towards higher weight units like heroes or Dark Lords that you typically wouldn't be able to run because they just take up too much weight on the team. So I think
I would
completely
actually
viable.
I would actually say that Weightless weeks lean toward people like either whether it be Trop or Avery or Sharkai, who have heavily focused awakenings. Whether it's because the game gave it to them or because they target only specific things with gems. The Weightless weeks let you use all of your best units, and it turns out that a whale's all best units and Trop's all best units, there's not a lot of separation.
Isn't there? I mean,
I guess it's because
There's
mine
not.
are 50 weight, whereas the other ones are Dark Lords.
but now they could run the
Yeah.
Dark Lords. It's. I mean, they probably still want to run some bloomed units because some of the bloomed units are actually better than the Dark Lords.
I
but-
mean, and maybe now we'll start to see some, separation with the Awakening 3-5 perks. But up till now, like, Full Awaken Bloom are better than Dark Lords. The
and
only
are we still
exception
gonna
being,
have
of
like
course,
bad
Full
AI
Awaken
mechanics? Like if
Bloom,
I
Dark
bring
Lords.
Dragon Lord and like a caster team that's very slow, Dragon Lord, Baramos, I don't know, stuff like that, with maybe a slowed down Old Man Mortimer or something. Am I going to run into any trouble with the units still running back and doing crazy things because I decided to
Yes.
bait?
Bianca.
So
You will still run into that issue. It's less of an issue because you might actually be able to make it there in 2 turns as opposed to 1 turn.
but how about if you took the step back hoping that they would eventually take the step forward and they just never did?
They won't.
They won't.
Bianca will not move forward and not attack. The best you can hope for is that the rest of the team doesn't have any buffs, so the rest of the team
Move
runs
up and then
up.
she buffs them.
Bianca will run up turn 2 because she's fast, because Zap is fast. Everyone knows Lightning is fast. And so Bianca turn 2 and 3 will move up even if she can't hit something because she's trying to buff units that have moved up.
She's actually trying to
But-
oof them. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, she is trying. She's trying to oof the usually the
I'm
casters.
joking.
Of
No, a buff. Oomph is a type of buff. It's just
Yeah.
funny how the game names everything. So just making it difficult for the player base to actually have like their own names for specific categories of abilities without overlapping.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, let's talk. You know what we missed? We missed the
most.
most important thing to discuss this week. And I definitely want your guys' heavy input. What permutations are people going to run this week?
That's a hard one.
It is a hard
A,
one.
B, C.
I'm thinking Claria, guys. I'm definitely thinking Claria. Okay.
So,
She normally fits some
people-
weightless
people
weeks.
use
She
Claria.
would have she used to fit a lot of weightless weeks, but it's like, do we necessarily need her for this weightless week? You have 3 turns. You still can, make your way in. I could technically pull in Zoma instead of her for the same function. So I don't know.
So quick thing here, because Marcos just brought it up in chat. Trying to bait a UKM, will probably end up making him just use his agility / move skill and not move if you're out of range of him.
It'd
I
be funny if you moved
I
back to
hope he
Wally.
doesn't. Yeah, like that's the goal is that he doesn't move. It's very possible he runs backwards too for some reason.
Just hide behind the block on the in the middle of the map, and you'll be fine.
God, that makes me want to throw up.
He can't run through a block, guys. He can't even run through your allies. So if you block him off with someone who's resistant heavily to Sizz, then he can't really target the person weak to it.
He still has the crack atomic blade.
Sure, but if let's say he's only in range for the Sizz, and you blocked your unit, but he's still not in range for the crack. That's a very specific circumstance, but you know what I mean.
If
You'd
you
need to block him off something like Great Dragon.
Yeah, if you've blocked a unit, the forward unit will be in range of the crack because it only has 1 less range than the Sizz. The back unit would be in range of Sizz, but not able to be targeted by Sizz.
All right, boys. Royal Reptile meta.
Yeah,
Crack
sure.
and
why not?
Sizz resistance.
Yeah, of course.
Crack Sizz.
He's
it's
the
just
new bunny
Carver.
corn.
It's
He's the new
100%
bunny
Carver.
corn, guys. So
100% of the time, it's just Carver.
Yeah.
Carver's gonna stand around bullying OKMs.
Yep. Who else did Carver solo? Oh my goodness, was it Gracchus? The Gracchus stage, I almost soloed that with him.
Yeah, Gracchus and the
Carver just bullies
funny
Gracchus.
looking lizard dude. The lizard dude.
Does anyone know
Which
who the
one's the
funny looking lizard dude
Funny
is?
looking lizard dude.
S rank? Is
Salamander
he?
friend.
He's not a unit. He was part of the
Oh,
Phantom.
Murdaugh
Murdaugh. Yeah. Funny looking lizard dude.
Murdaugh.
from DQ6.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you get to bully him with Carver. That was fun. I do like Carver. He has his uses. Don't bring him to arena, though. He is his marshal used to be good.
Bring him to arena.
His marshal kinda used to be good, but I don't know with 3 turns if it's that good anymore.
I mean, it still hits like 800 brilliant.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's great for a free-to-play player.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
is like one of the big things. I started a new account.
He can use his he could use his
on my phone during,
he could use his hero ability now.
Yes,
Yep.
all of them can.
and that is
Elena gets the Great Ball of Fire.
That's not that good though, is it? The Great Ball of Fire?
Woo!
No, it's not, but like, let's see. Terry gets the giant mega zap attack.
That's
Um,
scary, right?
Deb gets to activate her livid mode.
Mm,
and attack with it.
and actually attack with it.
Is that even
could always activate.
that good? Has her livid mode ever been that good?
I used it a couple times in Mega Boss battles. So
That's
about
a
it.
mega boss battle.
Nair still doesn't get to do hers.
Nair still doesn't get to do hers.
Neither does Ashlyn.
Oof.
Poor heroes.
I remember.
I think we should
Oh,
extend that for-
doesn't
Yeah,
doesn't that one guy get to use his twice now?
I don't know who that one guy is.
rough.
Ruff gets to use his twice now.
No,
No,
Ruff- yeah,
wait.
Dies
Two
instantly
turns?
to anything he's supposed to.
Oh,
use
okay,
against.
never mind. He uses it on turn 2. Okay,
Yeah,
never
he-
mind.
Yeah,
There's no one
he's
who's going to
always
use
been able
theirs
to use
twice now. It's going to
it
be
once.
once, or it's going to be 0 times, or it's going to be 3 times, if they're ever going to, But that's it.
I just
Is there-
realized the big problem for the Arena Watch with this 3-turn change. How do we play against crits now with everything having more health and now it being more of a back and forth fight than a blitz?
You just don't face physical teams.
What we do is we recommend that everybody swap to Marshall and Breath teams because they're so good, guys. Honestly, if you're not running Marshalls, just get out.
With Dole Magus, I think we actually would be able to recommend that somewhat, right? Or some sort of hybrid team where,
Or even a high bird team.
a hybrid team, exactly. Who's going to be more of a PvE
Yeah.
unit when it comes out. But I don't know. I think
New meta?
hybrid would still be
Nimzo.
good. Hybrid would still be good. Because hybrid could get 3 stacks of breath up in 1 hit sometimes. Right? Because if there's
Occasionally.
3 people within the scorch, I mean not scorch, the fire, then would definitely be able to get 3 stacks.
Celery, you have been reclaimed by the robots.
Oh no.
Jessica in Arena uses 3x tension, and that's up, and that's it. Is that more damage than just using her attacks 3 times in a row?
She can on 1 use her Mega Magic, and then on 2 she automatically MP recovers. Oh wait, no. I think it's 1 you do tension, 2 you use your Mega Magic, 3 you're automatically recovering MP, which gives you enough for like the Fireball attack, which is like 4 frizzle.
But in your opinion, is that worth it to do the tension in Arena?
So the thing is if she's out of range anyway,
Okay, yeah, but
why not? Or like, if you really need to get rid of something, like knock. I don't know if she can 1-turn knock. I'm assuming that she's going to hit like a truck because I've seen the kind of numbers. But getting like a 25% damage boost on something like Mega Magic is going to be crazy when it comes to just completely obliterating a single problem on 2. Which, if you're playing something like a spell team, isn't so bad because you're probably doing something like bring them to the back.
Now I don't know what her agility is like. Is she like the Dragon Lord type of brand of magician, or is she someone faster? Is she like Baramos and Dragon Lord where she's slow, or is she one of the faster units?
I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna be real. I know her kit. I don't know her stats. I know she has dummy thick MP.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah. That's what she's known for, right? Her dummy thick MP.
Yes, exactly.
She is not terribly fast. Slightly fast. Well, about almost 30 faster.
We lost him again.
Is Zoma gonna make it back into the meta? I know Pac's been dying to use it.
Mine
mean,
is sitting
I
at
just got
4
mine at
awake.
4
I still
awake.
think that Dragon Lord might be better. I don't know. We'll see. He's held back by a lot. His movement still will affect him. Even if there is a 3-turn arena, it's still going to be a problem. Him having more HP, on top of having his dark robes for at least 2 turns. That's not bad. I don't think he's going to be surviving in like front lines for 3 turns anyway. So hopefully he's not taking too many hits. But if he does take hits, he has the dark robes. He has the increased HP. I think he's going to survive pretty well. And he takes hits pretty well, I think. So that's going to be good for him. We'll see. With a bloom, he'd be amazing, but as he is now, maybe no.
Jessica is a slow mage, but you could build her for HP, considering Mega Magic damage is only based off of MP. So, if you were, or not for HP, for agility, you could build her for agility. As long as you have enough MP that you can do the required damage. And she does have like one of the highest MP stats in the game.
Oh, wow. Looking at the wiki, her Garen's Fireball will also do like close to 2k damage at max awake and skill level 10 on Brilliant.
In Arena?
No, just regularly. It's not. It doesn't show me what her... Math. We can math. Math is good.
Yep.
Do we do that?
It's 1400.
Do people in this game do that?
Damage.
Somebody does. I leave it to Marcos and Celery usually. I'll just say fun things and let them figure it out.
Mm.
It's 1400 because that's what Trops does. His Dragon Lord true form.
Arena.
So.
Which being able to do something like Tension on 1, Mega Magic on 2, and then a 1400 Frizz on 3, if you need to.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad.
Not too bad.
When do we expect to have her out? Just for the viewers to.
I don't know. Maybe
Any
like
day
a week
now.
or something.
Any day now, guys. No.
Any day now.
Um,
Is she the first banner to drop? I think she's the first banner to drop from DQ8, isn't she?
I don't know if Dolmagus. He would probably be a week after, right?
I think he's the third banner, isn't he? Isn't he the third banner? And then Rapthorn's the fourth banner?
Yep.
And-
Yeah, I think Jessica, Angelo.
Angelo. I was about to just say Avery's husbando number 3.
Number 3. There's just so many of them. She has all the husbandos and waifus.
Oh, and then how could we forget Jessica will also be bringing the charm status into the game as well.
Yes.
Which all of the dragons are super weak to. Now, she'll only have an 80% chance, but for anybody who doesn't know, charm is confusion, except your charmed allies will also use their abilities against your team.
Your team, their team.
They're against their allies.
No,
They will use their abilities against their allies.
Which is already a lot better because them running away doesn't seem very fun. So that's probably the bigger factor for me. Yes, having them deal damage against themselves is very good, but them not running backwards with confusion is also very nice. Or, targeting your allies with, I guess, a physical attack. That's the most they do with confusion is punch you.
Yeah, just a regular punch.
Yeah, which is good to know, but I think for Arena Watch viewers, the recommendation would be to never do it.
Yeah, Mega Magic over an 80% charm. 100%.
Yeah.
Until she gets an increased odds, but
yeah, until she gets something to increase charm chance, but
Jessica Bloom went.
never do it, and then
Day
you'll
one.
also, because Mega Magic can be used any turn, you'll never see it from an enemy Jessica either. It will either Sizz, Frizz, Mega Magic. It'll never charm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they're going to do anything goofy with her AI so that it doesn't always Mega Magic. Like,
So
because I don't know if full MP Mega Magic will outdamage a brilliant or a neutral spell.
going back into the week though, do we have any specific avoid units for the week? Or pairings, like maybe a few units combined together specifically that you're like, oh no, shit, not that team.
Knock with S-Dark and DKO. Flexing with something like
Sorrow. No?
Zaro. Really, those Dark Lord teams
Interesting.
are gonna be a bit of an issue. Thankfully, they tend to share a lot of weaknesses. Sizz and Frizz tend to be common weaknesses for them, ironically enough. Which King She Slime, once again, makes him even a better pick for the week. The only thing you'll really have to worry about is Zaro.
I'm pretty sure DKO hates King She Slime because it also resists the Frizz and Zam, right?
Yep, resists Frizz and Zam. So most of us will have heavy resistance Frizz and Zam on our King She Slimes. That on top of the Searing Press for a really high
Except
Sizz Marshal.
Celery. I think Celery doesn't.
Except for Celery.
One
awake.
Sorry, Celery. Wait, yours is seriously at one awake?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's been getting so lucky lately, just not with the KSS.
Yep.
Oh, that's rough. But yeah, King She Slime, definitely, I always recommend him for Weightless weeks, partially because lots of people bring out the Dark Lords for heavy hitters because it's really fun to drop a whole bunch of 65 weights in there, and most of them tend to use Frizz and Sizz, or Frizz and Zam.
What about for you guys, Celery, Trop? Any definite avoids for the week? Or pairings of avoids?
There are just so many.
Probably Squid.
So fucking.
Squid, yeah,
So-
squid. That's not bad.
Yeah, I really I don't terribly mind Carver, especially because he usually goes for the marshal as long as he can hit something that's not gonna just die, and so he's not the worst. But Squid is he'll kill anything that's weak to bang. You're not gonna kill him. He's pretty annoying.
I will say, as far as Squid goes, Nocturnus does exist.
True.
Pearly Gates go burr.
Just like for
Yeah,
the same
they still
reason that
don't
it goes
kill-
burr
Wait.
for Carver, so.
Yeah, it still doesn't kill him, unfortunately.
I will go back to Jessica just real quick, because I finally realized that they put it down on the wiki. Her her Mega Magic at level 10, full Awakenings, does 5.6k damage outside of Arena.
Oh shit.
Still
That
don't
is
know. Am I
not
gonna go
the
for her?
intention.
Am I not gonna go for her? I don't know.
Yeah, she's good, and she's a lot more versatile than Dolmagus.
I
Because you can use her
know,
in a
but
lot of PvE
I
content as well.
wanna support the guild. Do wanna.
I mean, when you can one-shot anything with Mega Magic, put Beastmaster Claws on her.
That's why I wondered if they were going to change her AI to not Mega Magic turn 1 or something.
Do we have any JP players still in here?
Mike, I don't know if Mike's in the YouTube, but Mike.
I don't know if she was first for Arena though, but she definitely close to first for PvE. I think they still
Marcos
had.
is dropping in the chat, by the way. The Mega Magic math for damage is 4.5 damage for each MP that's consumed, which is all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at her and at Awakened 0, her base MP at 120 is 470.
So literally, wisdom doesn't even factor into it at all. Like
For Mega Magic, no, it's
not
just
even a
your
little
MP.
bit. Okay.
And then you can do something like drop the gold dagger on her for like 100 more MP, 100 and something more MP,
Mm-hmm.
plus awakening bonuses.
Mega
plus
Magic is
everything else.
typeless,
Typeless damage as well, yes.
and so it's gonna kill anyone in arena.
Yep.
Just,
Yep.
just about. How much HP
Except for
does she
maybe
have?
Nox.
Is she gonna survive? Like if she takes out,
She has
is it?
relatively
It's
low, she has
AOE, yeah? Is it typeless AOE?
No, it's a single target.
Okay, so she downs one guy, and then what?
Then you have a -8.
Then you have a -8. Yeah. Okay.
The difference between her and Ashlynn's is Ashlynn's takes 5 turns and I think hits like Terry's zap
9
effect or
squares.
something. It hits a lot of things in an AoE. Hers is a single tactical nuke.
Hmm. She's 2 move, so I don't know how much use would it have though.
I mean, 5 range is 5 range.
Oh, 5.
Something
Wait,
within
what?
5 range is instantly dead.
Wait, what? 5
3
range?
3 range on the spell. 2
3 range on the spell,
for
2
her
move.
Okay.
That seems unfair for the AI. Like, you really have
It's
to dodge
just
her.
it's just an ultra psi cannon.
But
Yeah.
how you're not always in range for side cannon when you think about it, and you are overextending a bit, putting the unit in danger.
Yeah, but we're talking about the AI here,
The AI. Oh, yeah.
who doesn't lose point.
Yeah, hopefully they fix that, because that sounds it sounds
Like I
pretty
said,
bad.
I
Ooh.
expect them to change her AI.
Well, if they don't, I don't know if it's gonna
Definitely
matter
unfair.
here, but you guys do know where it does matter. I won't say it.
In
Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. You still could do, like, if you couldn't down Stark in one hit, you still could do her tension. It affects that too, right? Even
Yep.
though you lose a little bit of MP with the tension, depending on, you know, if it's
You
maxed
lose
or
like
not.
16 MP, which isn't that much damage, but you're getting
Starts-
a...
Starts at 10.
Starts at 10 and then goes to 0, right? So,
Oh,
could be
sorry.
nothing.
So you lose 0 MP and get
Well, if you
a
have it
25%
maxed. But are you going to have it
modifier.
maxed? Are you going to have
Oh,
it
hell
maxed?
no, I'm not going to max. No, I'm going for 1 Awake, because on her, 1 Awake is pretty good and important. That's her automatic MP regen on 3rd turns. So it gives her the ability to do something like Tension Up on 1, Mega Magic on 2, and Garen's Fireball on 3. Her 3 and 5 perks are maximum MP plus 50 and extra spell power, which is good. But Awake 1 is really where it's at. And there's just banner slap after banner slap after banner slap. Thankfully, Die will be coming up after DQ8. So for me, at least, that one's going to be a little bit of a lull between banners.
Hmm. Interesting.
I'm not really excited for any of the Die units. I didn't like grow up with Die, or there's no attachment.
It's
for me
it's
to
an
that.
old series when you think about it. It just, you know, was around, I guess, Dragon Ball and technically, what's that one other series by Togashi? There was the one with the spirit detective guy. He had the little ray guns. Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, that series sucked. It didn't hold up well. I'm not gonna lie. I love that author. he did a great job with his latest series, Hunter x Hunter. But I don't know. Maybe they rushed him. I don't know what happened. Like, nobody died in that series. And when someone did die, they were brought back. Well, that's technically DBZ as well. But, like, it felt worse. It felt worse, you know? I don't know. Like, you didn't see the units really. They played the emotional music. They drawed it out. And I just didn't feel like the payoff was there. They didn't deserve it. I don't know. I couldn't suspend my disbelief. I just couldn't. But the dark, what was it? The dark tournament arc was good.
Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah, whatever. It's all right. Let's not get into it. This is a DQT podcast. But yeah, anything we missed? Permutations don't matter. Counters, I don't know. Counters, avoids. We already discussed a lot of counters to things. The
I
definite
put down
avoids.
some stuff in the article for the week.
Uh-huh.
And really, I kind of just rated some of the new units, talked about, kind of where they fit, and if you do have to face them, what to expect when you do. Outside of that, as far as teams go, I'd say we'd probably be looking at a lot of the Dark Lord spam. Probably still some breath teams. They're not as strong as they typically are in most weeks. But they're still pretty good, especially because, Celery's might still be running it this week.
Mm-hmm.
Martial teams are...
Yeah, I'm running at least Great Dragon. He's max awake, max bloom, so...
Yeah, Martial and Breath, thanks to the layout on the map, it's going to be really easy to kind of get cleave in. So expect to see something like a shell of very powerful units like Heroes or Dark Lords, with some support units like King She Slime will probably show up in a lot of comps. Seraphi's probably going to show up in a lot of comps. And units like Great Dragon, just units that are generally good at doing cleave damage.
It was interesting because people were obsessed with bringing Seraphy and a Stark to Arena for a very long time, but it seemed like eventually the community kind of realized that it, like, we realized it sooner, but they were like still like slowly weaning off of it. But I think maybe we might see a resurgence, you know?
Power creep's a hell of a drug, but really, movement and range are just so paramount in Arena. 7 range units are amazing. They are beyond good. 6 range units are still very good. 5 range units, it's kind of like, okay, that's passable. A 4 range unit in a 2-turn meta, just... there's nothing you can do with that. You get maybe 1 hit, and that's it. Mostly they're just pain in the ass to kind of deal with.
Even now, where you kind of get 3 turns?
That was a 2-turn arena. 3-turn arena, I'd expect to see a lot more S-Darks, partially because he kind of fits that bruiser profile that Celery was talking about. He has an innately really high HP, so we could pretty easily see him with a very large HP pool charging in, and especially with stuff like buff, defense buffs, all that kind of stuff, so long as you're not facing a physical team that can just like 1-hit crit you anyway, S-Dark still has the potential to be really good because Underworld Slash and Imperial Strike still hit like trucks, and if your opponent's playing some kind of cleave focus with something like Metal Dragon, Halberd, Great Dragon, and he has some kind of support there, there's a good chance that he survives with 3 attack up, and then anything in his way gets crushed.
Is this going to apply outside of the Weightless week, or is it going to be less so because of his weight?
I think the weight is definitely still going to keep him in check, much how it keeps Nocturnus and Demon King Orgodamir in check.
Okay.
And Dragon Lord Trueform. And Big Daddy Barry.
Yeah, I would say that like the yeah, the weight is still a major factor. Most 240 weeks, you're bringing exactly one Dark Lord or hero.
Hmm.
And
Unless
at
for
that point,
Sharkai,
if you
they bring
have
4,
Nocturnus, why is it not going to be Nocturnus?
because Dragon Lord True Form is better.
Sometimes.
Are
That
you
devil
guys going to be
ferments.
bringing in Dragon Lord True Form this week? Because
Oh,
I
hell
don't
yeah.
think we
This
talked
week,
about him, did
absolutely.
we? Did we discuss him at all yet?
I mean, do we need to? He gets like 2.4k HP if you build him for full HP. Draconic Flame doesn't need to scale off of attack, it goes off of his level. He's going to hit like a truck on Nocturnus, who's going to be one of the most popular units of the week. And
So
really,
are you guys going to switch to building him for HP instead of agility now that you have 3 turns? Or what do you guys think?
So building him with HP, and if he gets up to that 2.4k that Nock had given us, had shown us previously,
But by
you're talking about
HP, I literally mean using the Infernal Sword versus using, say, like the Nimzo Dagger. And then, say, like armor versus like a jacket or something.
he scales really well off of HP because he gets that
Yeah, it
10% HP back.
Yeah. And that's affected by the weapon, too. It's not base HP, it's...
It's affected by his current maximum HP. So if he has a current maximum of 2.4k, he heals for 240 every time he's hit.
Yeah.
It's almost
so,
unkillable when you think about it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
it's,
he was
it's
a
not
big
easy
problem
to
for
do.
JP. But between him and
So,
Elena, it kept not
I
getting
will.
traction.
I'll definitely avoid it then. I
Yeah.
don't know. Between
Yeah.
Sizz and Crack, I don't know if I could kill him. Even though I have a lot of Sizz and Crack. I mean, a lot of Sizz and Crack. But I don't think I could kill him.
If you have a lot of Sizz and Crack, I don't think he's a terror.
Well, at 24,
matchup. He's just you're
2.4k.
not gonna
But hopefully I'm not facing any 2.4k.
Yeah, that would be a max awaken.
DLTF. Yeah.
Uh,
That's a team I'm avoiding
but,
anyway, let's say.
as for whether building him agility or, and I do want to draw a distinction. Nimzo Dagger is not building agility. Beastmaster Claws is building agility because Dragon Lord True Form is slow. Like Nimzo Dagger might make him outspeed like regular
the
Dragon
point
Lord.
is, it's like, are you going to build? Okay, well now are you? If Nimzo Dagger's not enough, and let's say you got the same amount of roll.
I'm answering the question.
Go ahead.
So, the
Infernal Sword.
The agility build with Beastmaster Claws, I run that when I go up against like low awake or even medium awake Terries. Terry and Dragwire and Slanheart, who are less common. But units that are Frizz weak, you want to target, especially because I run Great Dragon, so I'm always worried about that whoosh zap damage, and still die even with the increased HP to a Draconic Flame, or get very, very close to dying to it and can be taken out with an additional cleave. So that does not apply to Nocturnus, because Nocturnus will still have a chunk of HP with the bonus HP and his damage reduction. So Nocturnus, you can go the slower one and be a little bit more cautious of facing, whereas the Glass Cannon Frizz weak units, I'll build agility to just take them out turn 1. And even without building HP, I think with the 30% bonus, DLTF sits at like 1700, like with no HP built.
So if you had the exact,
and that's at 3 awake.
If you had the exact same rolls on like Infernal Sword and Nimzo Dagger, which would you choose?
I'd say it depends on what you're facing and what kind of thresholds you need to meet.
Yeah, you're probably, if you have the exact same rolls, you're probably taking the sword, because Nimzo Dagger is 17 agility. So unless you're like you're trying to outspeed something that's almost the exact same or very slightly
Like a
faster
Dragon Lord or
than
something.
Dragon Lord True Form. Yeah, maybe Dragon Lord. Then most of the time you're just going to go with the Infernal Sword. There's, like Meta said, you could be facing something just a little bit faster where you need that extra 17 agility or something like that, 11 agility. It's not.
You can't see it, but they just dropped the banner announcement for Jessica.
I said it any day now. Should be.
And Giulianti Bloom.
Yeah, people complained about it, so they actually got that out of them. Isn't that great? So we don't have to wait for Summerfest.
God bless thing. Like,
I'm
I've
more
been
excited
needing
about the
Arena
Ghost. I'm more excited about the
Yeah.
Ghost than I am Giuliante, to be honest. I need a good
so-
Kazam within the A ranks, and
Considering I don't have her.
I have her finally. I got her with this latest. I don't know if it was the Heroes banner or the
Value
Dark Lord, but one of those two I got her. Just one, so it's like she's still not too good.
Mine's at 4. I pulled her a lot on the anniversary.
I'm not about to put the
stuff.
beast fragments on her. That's the problem.
I did because I needed her for the Blooming Door. Because I needed to have her at the Heavy Frizz Resist.
How
for
far
one
are
of
you
the-
into
one of
that?
the strategies. I stick around 30. I really don't want to push past 30. But
no,
my
yeah.
other strategies died out because my S-Dark got 1 extra awakening.
It's funny how that happens, huh?
Yeah, so I had to put an extra awakening on her to get her to Heavy Frizz Resist, and then like a month later we got all the value banners, and I pulled 2 more just
Mhm.
off of the value banners. But looking at my Dragon Lord True Form right now, full bloom, like 100% full bloom.
When were we
with
supposed
Max
to get
Awakening?
this? Sorry, when were we supposed to get those slime claws? The martial ones. Weren't they supposed to
Who
come with
knows,
slime and
dude?
tank?
They were supposed to come like forever ago, but my
Now
Dragon
we're
Lord
already
True
on to the
Form
next event. What the heck?
has 1436 HP with 395 agility with Nimzo Dagger and Cloak of Evasion,
Mm.
which is
Yep.
enough to outspeed most of the Dark Lords, so long as they don't build theirs for agility. So
Yeah,
we'll do Beastmaster
I'd say
Claw.
that's like. Yeah, I'd say it's like borderline where whether Nocturnus will be faster or slower.
If I go with Beastmaster Claws, it's 488 agility, which
We got Czar Peter here. He said, "Oh yeah, don't mention my 5-second contribute." Did he contribute? Did he?
did he?
I don't know. He did give me a new profile picture to put for Discord, so thank you. I don't know if that's what he meant. I don't know what he meant. But he commented back on the Arena Watch podcast live advert that I threw out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, don't mention his 5-second contribution."
Also, if I build
Trying to
my Dragon Lord
Be
True Form for
respectful
full
and know what
HP,
that is. Okay.
it's 1852 base HP. So, if you see mine, stay away from it. Do yourself a favor.
I'll stay away from Trops. I'm gonna stay away from Trops Dragon Lord True Form. You're using him this week, right, Trop? Or is he already playing his
He's muted right now, and
Yeah,
he gave us the sweat
he's playing
slime,
whatever that one game was he was playing.
the Horizon Zero
Horizon,
Dawn,
yeah, exactly.
which is supposed to be fantastic, by the way.
I try to balance
Alright,
between
we're
this and playing Horizon. It looks so good, like it looks better than it looks on stream on the actual PS5, but Twitch has like a cap of what you can see it at. So
Okay. Well, you're bringing DLTF. What's your team?
my team, and I wanted to say I think that before the Blossom units were better than the Dark Lord units or whatever, mostly except for Nocturnus. I think this 3-turn arena might change things towards the Dark Lords being better just because of their more flexibility on how you can use them. But I'm gonna bring the same as usual. KSS, GD, uh, KSS, GD, Squid, Metal Dragon, and DLTF because that's who I have bloomed. So those are kind of like no specific strategy. Those are just my best units. So I'll try to make something work with them. That's that's the plan. I'm probably gonna replace Zapple with buff on DLTF in case I do have to bait someone and risk a crit. Which I might have to more with this 3-turn stuff. I
Risk a
don't know if it's
crit. Buff doesn't help with crits.
No, but in case it doesn't crit,
Oh
it'll do
yeah, in
less
case it
damage
doesn't.
to
Yeah,
deal
yeah,
with
yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So I might finally make the switch, overwrite the Zapple.
It's also good for Blooming Door.
Yeah, and it might be good for arena defense for when the guilds come out, and they're gonna come out. I think.
use it occasionally
Is guild arena gonna come out the same time? Guilds come out. I hope so. I feel like they would just give it to us early because why not? Right? Because they have all the things for
I
it.
hope so.
I mean, the sooner the better, right? The sooner we get our our 2,500 gems every season.
That'll help with the insane amount of banners that are.
And we're getting that 2,500. Dude, what's Sharkai gonna be running with his heroes this week? It's gonna be crazy, right, for him? Still, I mean, it's no Dark Lords, but it's still gonna be pretty good.
I can only assume Shark Eye's out here loving the Weightless week with Max Awake Terry.
Terry's gonna be the leader, right? Or is he gonna go
God, that thing is
mage?
disgusting. I hate Terry. I say that because I wish I pulled Terry. I didn't. I even went for the paid on Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Elena. Maybe rough. It's a whole bunch of crit roulette and a whole bunch of. I even mentioned in the article this week, like, hey, if you see a hero group, don't bother. It's not worth it.
It's not interesting.
Most of them are crit roulette heroes, and we've already talked about it. Crits are basically a -8 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really account for yours critting, but theirs definitely.
That's just how it works.
Because if you're a good arena player, you're already calculating it so that way the opponent is dead. Either with, no crits needed. So it's like, if you do crit, then it's like, okay, now they're extra dead. It's like, what does that do? It doesn't really do anything. I mean, you're stacking cleave with your hits usually. So they're dead. They should be, if you know what you're doing. So I don't know what's deader than dead, but giving the opponents the same chance to be able to kill you is not fun.
So I guess the ideal team is Forest Dragon with Agility Claws, DLTF,
yeah, of course,
Leary Lantern.
Of course.
So
I'm
don't
putting.
bring those.
Yeah, maybe for your. Yeah. Not maybe.
Arbor?
Not for anything.
Not for anything yet.
Not for anything. What would it be used for? But yeah, I think that covers a lot. It'll be fun seeing units like I don't know, outside of this week, because this week I'm definitely gonna think about bringing Seraphine. And I hate saying that live, but it's true. I might bring Seraphine this week.
I brought her during physical week. Some weeks bring her.
I did think about it, but I ended up bringing the other dude instead because he was just a lower weight. But yeah, this week seems like it's viable, and I'm gonna have fun bringing a Gildan Britches to non-weightless weeks. Again, to buff up OKM. He's just so good, I think. And if I had full attack up for 3 turns, I could just build him HP. At that point, I would just... No, should I? I don't know. I don't know what I would do with him. But, yeah.
It's going to be quite the shakeup in Arena, especially for those that are used to, like us, used to the Blitz strategy.
I want to give him leadership, but I know I can't, right? Why, if OKM had leadership, I might be able to one-shot someone with three stacks of attack up.
You could also use Elena leadership for Frizz potency plus 20%.
Physical? Frizz physical?
Yeah, it's Frizz physical plus 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I don't have her. That's the sad thing. But yeah, that sounds like it would be very fun opportunity there. You know, the only leadership that I kind of sad that they missed out on was having a Frizz leadership. Just straight up Frizz leadership that wasn't Frizz breath. That wasn't Frizz 10%. Like if it was on a Dark Lord for some reason seemed to get like a 5% boost to the leadership, right? Whereas something would be 10%, for them it's 15 or whatever. So I would have loved to see a 15% Frizz physical. That would have been perfect for the humanoid, somewhat the elf Sorrow, right? The base form Sorrow. He has Frizz.
Husbando 6.
Exactly. If you gave him leadership and his leadership was 15% Frizz, then I would have ran him hybrid, no joke, Orgo Daemir, base form. I would have ran, I don't know, Dragon Lord True form, and someone else. Nimzo?
Yeah, instead he just
No.
has like physical power plus 15%. Like
A Stark. He's just another
Like a-
Stark,
like-
so it's
like
like, okay.
another Stark with like 7 range. Can't die once automatically.
I just want
it's
that niche Frizz, something other than just Nimzo's leadership. Nimzo's leadership would work great on that hybrid team that I mentioned too, but it wouldn't work on Sorrow, even though his breath is... It's basically a breath, guys. It's a physical magic attack that looks like a breath. I don't know. But if his ability would have been boosted, that would have been a fun team. You see someone with like 4 or 5 Frizz weak units, and then you could just steamroll them if they had no one with heavy resistance. And even if they did, you'd have enough typeless to get away with it. Yeah, I just want to see Hybrid be great again. He was never great again. I just want to see Hybrid be good. All this is a
hybrid be
justification.
usable.
Yeah, I just want to see him be... Yeah, because there's no leadership other than Nimzo's right now that's going to give him a boost. Or at least as much of a boost as
there's the plus 10% Frizz boost.
Yeah, I just don't... It's just not enough, is it? It's... Because it's like, he's weaker than Great Dragon for not having... Other than, on turn 1, he's definitely weaker. On turn 2 and 3, maybe no. But he's weaker than Great Dragon for not having the same passive. Right out, on turn 1, having it available. And he's weaker because he doesn't have a leadership like Great Dragon does. So it kind of sucks because I want to be able to use him. He's just such a flexible unit. And maybe, I don't have to worry about leadership. Maybe I could just bring him in as a 50 weight that I need with 4 movement.
And 7 range.
Exactly. So that might be a thing. We'll see. We'll see. Mine's Max Awakened. He's actually, I think he's 1 over now. I think he's 1 over Max. So that's, he should be
for
good.
Awakening Plus.
Yep.
Let's
I don't know
let's
what I would
find
give
out.
him. He's already like the fastest unit. So it's like, would I give him
HP.
another? Maybe. It's just like the weakest stat. Because it's like 5 HP is 5 HP. That's like nothing. That's a drop in the ocean. But yeah, I think we covered everything,
Wait, is
guys.
he the fastest unit?
He's the fastest base agility unit. Post bloom. Otherwise, right now it's
okay.
Peacock. Because Peacock has, 10 extra agility from that one node? The mini node gives him like 10
shit,
extra.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, so
My
he's
Peacock
technically...
has 522, Giulianti has 485.
Yeah, so he's technically the fastest right now, but Hybrid will reclaim that throne. But we'll see. We'll see. I think we covered everything, though, right? Like, is there anything we missed about this week? Trop usually has good inputs after, we... He claims that we talk over him, but in reality, he's just sitting playing his Horizon.
As far as I can think of, I don't think we really missed anything. Celery?
Is he still here?
If Celery's still with us. Not sure if he is.
He could be with us in spirit. It's okay.
Sometime.
There's green around him.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah. No, I think we got everything. Maybe I guess just the typical what we expect to see, vice what is good to bring. We're going to continue seeing all of the Nocturnists. 90+% of matches going to have Nocturnists. So be prepared for that.
Hmm.
And then
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
100% agree. I think Trop agrees too. He's giving the same response as well.
But yeah, Nocturnus is going to be super popular. Be prepared for it. Do a practice match or two. Try and figure out.
Carver
where
might
you
be
can
there. Seraphy might be there. Starks might be there.
Yeah. Try and figure out where you can get so that you can neutralize a Nocturnus problem threat. Understand your team. Understand the enemy team. And I posted a giant list of the newer units and kind of broke them down by their awakenings, what to expect from them, and just in case you have to fight one, that's a cheat sheet, a guide for you.
Apparently Maribel is for his type potency. But I
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
another
her.
plus 10%.
I don't
like
have her.
Peacock and Highbird and
Hybrid has the 20% reduction for the resistance. No, 25% for like resistance reduction or whatever. So PvE only. I mean, technically with 3-turn arena, it's more possible, but running in with Hybrid is never going to be a good idea.
No.
I mean, he's built full HP now. At least for me, he is. So
I mean, is he S7? What's his HP at? Built full HP.
if I gave him oh my gosh, if I gave him full HP, he's hitting. Is he hitting 1200? I don't know what he's hitting with full HP. Let me see. Because I do have a different HP sword now than I had before. So for all I know, he could be hitting like 1300. I don't know. With that and I don't think 1300. We'll see. Let me put it on right now. Alright, so he has nothing on. With nothing on, he's at 763. Not a lot. The Okeanis sword is taking at least him up to 1080 for me. He's a monitor resolution. And with the liquid metal armor, he's at 1161. It's not amazing. It's not bad. But it's not tank worthy. So
No. Speaking of tanks, my Schleiman tank, for anybody who is wondering, 1118 HP base and 454 agility, built full agility. It's at 119.
how much defense does he have? Because my Hybrid has 269.
477.
It's gonna help
And he
you
gets
out
a
with...
20% agility buff on his first turn. And
I
his
don't
third
think he's
turn.
in range for a lot of attacks to hit him anyway, right? He's hiding behind blocks, and he could be.
Schleiman?
He could be, right? Because he gets
Yeah, I can put him
additional
anywhere.
range.
But Fusillade follow-ups are just going to be a 40% chance for 500 damage whenever I cleave.
And by turn 3, how far does that extend?
It's same extension, still 2 to 4 range. He just has a 4 move on turn 3
Oh.
with a 40% agility buff.
Oh, okay. So his movement goes up every...
One thing
Odd turn.
I
odd turn.
don't think we mentioned is the map. All of the spaces except for the 2 wings can be very easily with the typical
So,
lead
yeah,
attacks.
basically I think he's trying to say Claria is the only one that would hit that back area. But no one's bringing
Nope.
Claria. No?
No, you can. It's within 6 range.
Oh, yeah. You could hit it with... let's see, the enemy has a Giuliante there, so... I think. And they have a halberd. Yeah, so he could hit every tile. But KSS isn't hitting every tile from at least depending on how the units are positioned, but that's okay.
KSS can hit every tile. It just requires charging it.
Yeah. So you shouldn't do that. But yeah, I guess KSS is going to be a must-have. Then I have to restructure my team. All right, guys. Well, there we have the podcast. It's almost as long as it went last week, but we had a different format, I guess. We had more people and more input. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to join the pack with the pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write down in the comments down below. If you want to support the Arena Chronicles, go ahead and share. If you want to see more Arena Chronicles, hit that bell icon. Arena Chronicles, Arena Watch Podcast. Go ahead and hit the bell icon for notifications, guys. This ain't Twitch. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations. And join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, this has been the pack. Signing out. Peace.